I
Hey,
swear
hey, hey.
I swear I need to have him make me one of those sweet intros.
Do it. Do it because it is like, no, I watch it all the time. It's the craziest thing. And I'm starting to
Great.
now pick things out of it that I'm going to be talking about. You know what I mean? So I did the Mothman one. You know what I mean? So slowly but surely, I'm going to dissect it. And then
Yeah.
I'm hoping once I get through them all, maybe, just maybe, I'll get like a new one
Yeah. Yeah.
with new
Upgrade.
things that I can talk about. But no, he's amazing. He's done so many people's intros and outros. I don't have like the sit down power to piece it all together. Like I know what I want, but I can't like the puzzle just doesn't work in my brain. I don't know why.
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
he's amazing. So hi everybody out there. Obviously, if you're seeing me, you know it is Sunday evening. And with me over here, we got Ash back like I promised you guys. I know you guys loved him last time. We are back again. We got some great and fun and interesting and powerful things to talk about. So I'm going to let Ash take it away here and let everybody know who you are, what you're about, where they can find you.
All right. I'm Ash. You can find me at 123 Mad Ash or Wondercast or Lightside Radio on Rumble, if you will. That's the only place you can find me. This is my home. Rumble is my home, so that's just how it is at this point in time. But I am thinking about possibly in the future maybe going into the YouTube realms to do some R pirating. But yeah, that's a possibility.
Arg. I'm over there. I don't, it's so crazy. I thought I would grow more over there because I always was a YouTube person. And Rumble's where it's at. I'm telling you, it's like
I,
the new
yeah,
YouTube.
yes, it's awesome over here. I appreciate the freedom over here to be able to do whatever I want to do and to make my show however I need to make my show and just to let me roll with it. And I give two thumbs up to Rumble for that. That's great.
Yeah, I think 70% of my videos that I have over on YouTube have all been copyrighted somehow. And Rumble's like, hey, as long as you're not like, you know, threatening anybody, go for it. You know what I mean? If
Right.
how are you gonna copy claim me for something I pulled off of YouTube?
Right, right. It makes no sense. Makes no sense
Doing
at
it
all.
like it's ridiculous. And I find the people here, the family and the friends that I have made, downright the best people. People over on YouTube are crotchety and they're just so miserable. I don't know why. They're just so mean.
Boy,
But
I
it is what
mean,
it is.
full of
Hey,
the left.
TLW. Right. Ugh. Oh, went to the lake. So now today. Oh, the lake. I love the lake. I love the water. It's amazing. It's just so peaceful and so calm. Unless you have a bunch of children running around, then it's not so peaceful and calm
Right,
until later. You know what I mean? Um,
right.
but it is what it is. So obviously you guys know me. I'm Gina from Mom's Mystery and Mayhem. You can find me on X as well as SHRTY7081. I am kind of a lurker on X. I do kind of poke around. I do kind of post where, where I'm going to be, who I'm going to be with, stuff like that. And that's about it. And then obviously you guys know Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, I'm over at Third Railify with Mr. Sean, where we talk about a whole bunch of stuff, go over some weird and funny and crazy news stories. And then we have lots of friends join us all the time. So it's kind of like a hangout without having to leave the comfort of my home in my pajamas. So it's great. It's wonderful. You know what I mean? So as you guys saw on that thumbnail, crystals, are they a powerful tool? Or as Sean likes to call them, or are they just spicy rocks?
I swear I'm going to get him. I'm going to turn him around on this one. I'm going to turn him around on this one
I'm
somehow.
surprised he's not in the comments already going, what is happening? Are we going to lick the spicy rock? Or, you know what I mean? So, hey, TLW. We got TLW. We got Cass. I saw Jay in there earlier. He may be picking up his kids or something.
I gotta admit, though, I'm excited about doing this episode, though, honestly, because this is a good one to do. Yeah.
I love crystals. Like I said, I think I have told you this the last show. My husband's like, if I'm dying and I walk in and there are crystals everywhere, he's like, I'm gonna come back and haunt you. I'm like, no, you won't, because there's a crystal for that. I was like, I'll give you some of the natural, things on the planet to calm you down, and then I'll just sneak the crystals under your pillow and you won't even know. You know what I mean? It is a great thumbnail, right? I actually usually thumbnails come pretty easy to me. This one here, I played around with it for almost 2 days. And then I finally got it and I was like, that's it. There it is. We have got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a good thumbnail.
So, I know, I loved it. And then I saw like I got the one that you could like play in the background. I was like, that's awesome. Oh, speaking of, we said his name. See what happens. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome you summoned him.
Rocks.
You summoned him.
Listen, there you go, Ash. There's your first one. What's that? Oh, my daughter's handing me my other one that I have. Yeah.
Thank swear, you, Sean. I'm gonna turn this all around. I'm gonna make you a believer at some point.
All right. So I know we talked about this earlier, but I do have some pretty nifty questions going. So we're just going to start that off. So the first question I have is, can you explain what makes crystals special and how they're believed to influence our energy or well-being?
Okay. Well, I think the best way for me to explain this would probably be to break it back down into the law of one information. Okay. So if you break it back down into the law of one information on what is crystals, okay? Crystals are first density beings, okay? They are beings. All things are beings, and that includes the crystals themselves. Now, whether or not they are sentient beings, so to speak, is another thing altogether. But they are beings. Now, in the case of these first density beings, they are according to Ra, some of the highest order of that which is the first density. Now, again, first density can be anything that is basically chemical, compound, molecular, so to speak, that type of thing. It has to be something most basic. It can't be consistent like wood. Wood would be a second density being. So, because it's compiled of a bunch of different things all together to make that wood. So it has to be like at the most base components, fire, earth, water, things of that nature. So as a crystal, these are some of the highest forms of that which is first density. You might ask yourself, okay, what is first density? First density is the creator in its most basic form, and it is the creator that has laid itself down to that which is become creation, and to become that which is all things from there on forward, throughout all the densities in that realm of existence. So this is the base component to that which is all things, if you will. And the crystal has purposes, just like all things have purposes. And just like for instance, we have herbs, we have seeds, we have animals that give us certain types of things for purposes and things, and rocks and minerals. They all have the same things. They have vibration, they have purpose. And these vibrations do things. And that is essentially what is the first density, that is crystals. Does that make sense?
You should plug 100% makes sense. Everything we have was put here for a purpose. Whether it's first density, second density.
It's a part of our illusion. This is an illusion. Everything that you see and everything that we're a part of, even the chemical compounds and everything that they're a part of, this is an illusion. This is the creator giving us a training ground, if you will. It's a dream for our souls.
That's a great way to put it. This is our dream world. Yeah. Yeah. I was reading the other day. Yeah,
The
that
only
that
thing that's real, the only thing that's real about anything is our souls. Everything
yeah.
else is just an illusion to teach.
Sean, behave. How are you going to do that, Ash? Are you going to whisper into your spicy rocks and realign my chakra or something? Which is a great
No,
thing. Chakra.
just gonna whisper into your ears information that would might open up your mind a little bit.
I think that's what I'm known for now. I just pop into people's chats and they're like, "Hello, Gina." I'm like, "Oh, hey." Oh God. All right. So here we go. Next question. Are there any specific crystals that you would recommend for common issues such as stress, anxiety, or boosting creativity? What are your favorite crystals?
Oh, all right. Let's get into it.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So as far as what I'm personally using as far as things that go for stress anyway, I like citrine. Citrine is my happiness stone. Here, let me show you. Here, let me see if I can pull one out here. My happiness stone is citrine. It's like almost like carrying around sunshine or light, and it's very airy. Something not there, but it's very airy. Uh, it's kind of got a golden color to it, and when you rub it, it's very glassy. But you just feel this weird energy off of it. Like it's an energy that is just happy, happy go lucky. It just kind of helps to meld that stress away, if you will, from the beginning that you touch it. Really, um, that's one of my favorites as far as kind of stress relief goes, and anxiety too as well. Obsidian,
Oh, I
I
should I
can't,
should
I can't. What was
I
what
should
was
tell
that?
everybody real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest to have a notebook, a pen or a pencil if this is
Yes,
something you are truly interested in, because he is going to throw out a lot of great information for you. Different names of different stones, what they are used for, how you can use them, how to take care of them. We're going to go over
yes,
all of those scenarios and situations. So if
yeah.
you are, again, interested in this, have something to write down, whether it's the notes in your phone, your good old fashioned pen and paper. Um,
I'm
just
gonna I'm
make
gonna
sure
read
you
through some information tonight that is going to give you some basic things that these stones can do different things for, and it's going to come out of this book right here. Some of this is going to come out of this book. Some of it's going to come from me and my own digging myself. So this one's Crystals by Jenny Harding, and Jenny is spelled JennieHarding. Jenny Harding. And I would suggest that you get this one. This is an excellent book for getting you started on learning about the crystals and what all they do, where they come from. It basically gives all that information. Well, I got a moth that just flew in front of me. But anyway, it's a good one for getting all of that information. And you can look up from what they do, what they can do for you. It's great. It's a great book. And I cross reference from this book often. So, like, I'll do crystal work on the cross referencing of what the crystal says, or what they say they can do based upon what they can do, what the crystal says, and all that. So there's a lot to it, and I'm going to be honest with you. She's pretty right. She's pretty correct on what she's said on here. I haven't found much that's discrepancy, but yeah, I would suggest that's a great book to go with. But yeah, citrine. I would suggest citrine is one. It's kind of like that happiness crystal. I just showed you that one. Obsidian. I cannot preach the amazingness of obsidian. Obsidian is what got me down this road, honestly. Obsidian is a protective stone. It helps to calm your emotions. It's just an all around just great stone. It allows you to just be you for once. I mean, honestly, it's the best way I can explain it, because Otherwise, you don't know if you're truly you on a regular basis, because there's things around you all the time that are manipulating your mind, psychic attack, if you will. So you don't not 100% know that you're 100% you all the time. This gets into the Bible saying, know thyself. Very much true.
Mm-hmm.
Know thyself. So anyway, obsidian. I cannot preach the wonders of obsidian. It prevents dark beings from attacking you, all kinds of things. It helped me tremendously. I don't leave my house without obsidian. I'm not joking about that. I'm not joking. And my kids, they're believers in it as well. My wife, she believes in it too, but she don't always remember. She's been ADD about it, but nonetheless. But anyway, so another one that's pretty good is tiger's eye. Tiger's
Mm-hmm.
eye kind of helps you build up that courage, and it helps you to build up that so that way you can get out there and get to doing whatever you need to do, so to speak. So that kind of gives you a build past stress, if you will, and it kind of helps you to move in that direction, so that way you'll have the courage to just kind of gun on through it, if you will. It's not a bad one. There's different methods and means that these different crystals have for different access points for your mind or body or spirit, for that matter. So there's another one. It's a really good one. Now, I really like this one a lot too. This one I use frequently. This is lepidolite. Let me see if I can find some lepidolite for you here. Yep, right here. So lepidolite. It's a white and purplish stone. Let's see here.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. It's a white and purplish stone, and it's got a very calming effect. Like I use it. Here's an example. Back here on this. I use it in conjunction with howlite and amethyst. If I'm having trouble sleeping, I will put, I got my lepidolite right here. I got my amethyst right here, and I've got my howlite. And I'll wear this when I go to sleep. And I'm going to tell you right now, it does make a difference. I will sleep better, and I will have a consistent sleep, and I will have more dreams that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I don't dream often, honestly. I really don't dream often. And when I wear that, I have a tendency to dream more. As weird as
Do you
that
find
sounds.
yourself putting it on when you ask yourself a question before you go to sleep and you want to dream?
I mean, yeah, I have done that before, but I haven't had much luck with that, honestly, because
Mhm.
I think I have some sort of a weird dream block or something. I don't know how to explain that, but I have problems with that. But that does help me with that, as well as get some good sleep. I actually helped somebody in a chat one day with getting them some help for sleep with amethyst, and amethyst actually helped them for sleep.
That's awesome.
So again, it does work. Amethyst is a good one for sleep. If you're ever needing sleep, amethyst helps with sleep and dreams.
Now, is this
Howlite
something that you should wear it, or can you put it next to you on your nightstand?
I suggest wearing it.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who will be out there that say that, oh, you can just have them on you in your pocket, or on your nightstand. I mean, or under your pillow. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of rules to these crystals that most people just don't know. And I don't
Yeah.
even know a lot of the rules, honestly, because I have to do crosswork with crystal work to even find out what the rules are. And and like, there's things about these crystals, a lot of them have to be touching you. They
Yeah.
have to be touching you in some way. Like this, like a chain attached to a crystal to a chain right here, that works because the energy passes through the chain to you. Now, if you just had this without a chain and it was touching right here, it wouldn't pass through. Now, that, as weird as that sounds, I asked crystal work questions on that, and it said that the energy does not pass through. The vibration does not pass through fabric. So that's a consistent thing I've been finding. So the people that say, oh, just put them in your pocket, you're not getting anything from them if you're just putting them in your pocket. You have to be touching them. So I will consistently wear two necklaces. I'll have this one on, and then I'll have, like I have today, I have Labrador. This is Labradorite. But and then I have this one on, which is Larvicite. I'll talk about Larvicite here in a moment. But I wear
well, it makes sense
generally.
It makes sense that it needs to be on you because your clothing has its own frequency, and they may.
It does.
Yeah, it's going to interfere with the other frequencies.
Exactly. And like the frequency will pass through other metal. I found that out. So metal for sure it will pass through. Now, if it was like a leather or something like that, I haven't asked questions on that. But as far as metal, it works for metal. So as long as you have it on a metal chain or a metal bracelet or some sort of metal on you, it'll pass through. But anyway, continuing with what I'm saying here, lepidolite is a good one because it helps calm your mind. It helps calm your body. And so that whenever you have a calm mind, you have a calm body. What does that mean? You have better sleep. So again, working with the amethyst will help you to keep your sleep and will help you to dream. The howlite, which is what I also have over here, the howlite will also help you to have calm, and it'll help calm your mind, and it'll help calm your body. So again, I have double calming effect from two different stones, and then I have the mind and dream effect from the amethyst. So I'm getting technically three different effects from off of that, and it's working specifically for sleep and dreams.
Kravitz has a question for you. She said, does the chain do better if it's silver or gold? And then I'm also going to throw in copper as well.
Yes, it matters. When it comes to chain, this is my suggestions. Now, if you're a positive person, my suggestion is silver. Silver's a good one. White gold's a good one. Even nickel. Even though
I never would have thought of that.
Some people have problems with nickel. I have an answer for that. But give me a moment on that. It
turns me a color. It turns me green.
Yep. It does everybody. That's a normal thing for nickel. But at the same time, there are good properties to nickel. It has healing effect. Actually, believe it or not, nickel has a healing effect. It has a natural healing effect that is a part of it. But the thing is you have to have a vibration that is a similar or similar to it for you to be able to get that healing effect. Otherwise,
so I'm going to stop you for a second, Ash. I have a new chatter in here that I would like you, because I know this probably gets brought up to you a lot. This is something this is not an idol worship. These are tools that we have that were given to us on this earth. So she writes, it sounds like idol worship to me. If you're Christian, be careful. If you plan on using any of these magic stones, speak to your pastor first. My gut instinct is that it's bad.
Here's my answer to that. The Creator creates all things for us to use and for all purposes for us to use. This is just like any other herb or anything else out there that we are to use and utilize. The Creator is a part of all these things. To be honest with you, I question even, the idea of putting Jesus up on a cross to be forever monumented up on a cross. I find that really strange to me. Why do you want to focus on the pain of Jesus while he was on the cross? I just don't understand that, and to monument that. I find that strange. And again, to me, that seems odd. And I understand where you're coming from for you to feel that you are odd, for this to be odd for you for this to be a thing. But at the same time, these things are natural. It's just a natural thing for you to be able to have. You can get the natural vibration from this just naturally. I've seen miracles happen because of this, straight up. And I don't know if you've seen the previous episode that I did, when I explained my miracle that I saw, and it happened with obsidian. I watched my son break 104 temperature like that, and he sat straight up and he said, "I feel a lot better now." And I had something in my head tell me before that, put the crystal on it. And I knew which crystal I knew what crystal it was speaking of. But it was an angelic voice. There was no other explanation for that.
Trapper has a great comment.
Yeah.
Trapper says, I agree that using tools of any kind, you must be safe. I do not condone using rocks for symbolic purposes with intent. Notice how I said intent.
Okay. Well, I mean, you don't use them for the intent for the purposes of worshiping a false idol. No, I'm not telling you to worship using for false idol work. I'm not telling you to worship these stones. I'm not telling you to do any of that. But I am telling you that the Creator is part of all things, and the Creator is a part of those stones, and the Creator put those stones here for a purpose. And those purposes are to help us.
Yeah, B Money said it's not magic. It's more molecular, electric, in my opinion, and older tech potentially.
I would agree with you on that. It's more molecular and electric. It's how the vibration and frequency affects us on its normal vibration and frequency. Yeah. It's very much correct. But continuing on here, so larvacite's a good one as well for stress management, because larvacite, as weird as this sounds, larvacite will give you clarity of thought. It will give you the ability to kind of go past your normal abilities, so to speak, from time to time. But at the same time, you have to be careful wearing larvacite, and I stress that as well, because larvacite has a strong vibration, and that vibration can sometimes overwhelm your mind. And when that mind gets overwhelmed too much, you might have a overwhelming self view of yourself by wearing it too much. We'll just put it that way. The vibration of it makes you feel like, oh, I'm good. But sometimes you're a little too good. We'll just put it that way. So again, going into larvacite's a good one, and it also gives protection as well, as far as the frequency of it goes. When it comes into anxiety, citrine pops up as well, obsidian pops up, larvacite as well, lepidolite because of its calming effect, howlite as well for its calming effect, lapis lazuli as well because it's one of those healing stones. It has a tendency to help heal the body. I think a lot of that has to do with the pyrite that's in the lapis lazuli, because pyrite also has that effect too. But going back into what she was saying earlier about the chain does matter too, because I would not suggest anybody wear a yellow gold chain ever, unless if you are a person who wants to go down a dark path, or a person who just doesn't care about any of this stuff and it doesn't really matter to you. Then you might be okay with yellow gold. It has a negative frequency. It has a frequency that is towards the negative polarity. Hence the reason why a lot of people greed towards it. Hence the reason why a lot of the 13 families covet it so much. Hence the reason why all these symbols coat themselves in gold. There's a lot of negative frequency with yellow gold. But as far as white gold goes, it's the total opposite. So if you have that white gold, it's a positive frequency. So white gold's a good one to wear. Silver is a good one to wear because it has a positive frequency too. Let's see here. Nickel is a good one because of its healing ability. But at the same time, some people have problems with nickel, And there's reasons for that, and a lot of it has to do with wondering, believe it or not.
Oh,
And the
okay. So I'm
wondering,
gonna pause you for a quick second here. I gotta find the comment again. So Chaya came back, and I knew this was going to maybe be a little touchy subject for some. So it's not that one. I already did that one. Where's the second one? So where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? So she said, Ash, why did you attack Christians in your answer to me?
I didn't. I didn't.
I agree. And then B Money said, I agree, Chaya. That comparison may not
love Christians. I actually align myself with Christians, but Christians don't always align themselves with me.
So B Money said, I agree, Chaya. The comparison may not have been fair. Perhaps he'll apologize. I think the cross is a symbol I and others have an issue with, but still love Yeshua despite the
I
Church
love
of Christians.
Jesus is awesome. Jesus is the best person out there to teach the word that is the law of one. So yeah, I align myself heavily with Jesus, big time. So for anybody to say that I'm not Christian by my concepts, I'm just as Christian as everybody else is Christian. It's just maybe a different sect of Christianity than most are not understanding of, I guess.
Yes. B Money said, can you repeat that on gold, or should I go? So he had a question about the gold. You were describing on who should wear the gold and who shouldn't.
Oh, negative oriented individuals that are on the negative path, yellow gold's fine for them. It helps them. But those who are on the positive path, I would suggest white gold or silver, nickel. Nickel's not good for negative oriented people because nickel has a tendency towards making them allergic. But again, not everybody who is allergic to nickel is also a negative oriented person. So it's one of those things where I can't say with 100% that, oh, you're allergic to nickel. Well, you must be a negative oriented person. No, I can't say that. But I can say that those who have negative orientation should stay away from nickel. I mean, honestly, because it can affect them. Just putting it out there. I care for everybody, whether or not they're bad or good. I don't care who they are. I'm just giving warnings to anybody out there who is.
Yeah. Yep. I believe there are no bad people. There are just a lot of bad decisions.
A lot of bad decisions.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, getting back into this, rose quartz is a good one for anxiety, and amethyst as well, and aventurine as well. They're all three going to be good for those types of things for anxiety. Rose quartz is more about accepting the love of oneself as well as the love of others. So it's universal love concepts. It's that universal love vibration, if you will.
It's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I just can't pull off pink very well. I just can't do it. It just don't work for me.
We have another question for you. Before we move on to your next, I know I keep cutting you off. I apologize. B Money said, how do we know if we have a negative orientation?
That's a good question. I mean, you got to play it by ear. I mean, honestly, are you a selfless person by heart? Do you do for others primarily as opposed to doing for oneself? Or are you a bit, I'll do for myself and I'll do for others, kind of half and half? Or are you a highly oriented towards self-service person? Because that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It matters. Because the vibration will match with your vibration or conflict.
And that goes back to the comment that I squirrel brain, you know what I mean, who made it, that You can't wear these with intent. So you should be wearing them to help yourself, not to
Right.
influence others around you. So that's,
Amen. Amen.
yep.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
I'm with you on that. With you 100% on that. This is not like, for instance, a lot of people out there who are really like into this crystal stuff, they're like, they use it very inappropriately, and it's not for that. Like, there was people out there. I talked to this one lady one time, and she said, "Oh, I don't believe in the rose quartz. I wore it one time to try to get this guy's attention, and it didn't work for me." And I'm like, well, it's not what it's for. It's not for manipulation of others. It's for the help of oneself, to better yourself, to make yourself feel better. It's for those purposes. It's like a medicine.
Yep.
Or a helpful protective thing. That's all it is. You shouldn't use it for the purposes of trying to manipulate others. That's not what it's for.
Yep.
But I don't know. She didn't want to hear that.
Nope. And then that, that's how some things are, you know what I mean? It happens.
But anyway, going back into the creativity aspect of it, crazy lace agate. I use crazy lace agate myself from time to time. Whenever I do Wondercast, I'll wear my crazy lace agate. Let me see if I got it back here. Oh, there it is. Crazy lace agate. And by the way, all these are wrapped by me. I do the wrappings myself. But yeah, it's one of those stones that just kind of helps you to be creative. I don't know. It helps me to get going. I get a bit of clarity from it as well. So yeah, that's one I like anyway. As far as to continue on here, I guess. See, I've never heard of this one, honestly. Iolite. I read this up online. Iolite and phenakite. And I know what cathedral quartz is. Cathedral quartz is just a styling of quartz crystal itself. It's just a styling of quartz. So you could use just regular quartz. I don't think that really matters, the styling, honestly, truthfully. But it might pass the vibration a bit better if it was in that styling, maybe. But that would be about it. Labradorite, which is what I have on right here. This little pretty thing right here. That's labradorite. Huh?
Is that a blue? Like
it's
a blue
blue
color?
And green. It kind of shimmers and shines, kind of like peacock feathers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Opalite. Opalite is actually a man-made stone, believe it or not. And opalite is this one right back here. If I have it. Opalite is this one. It's a man-made stone. And when I started asking questions on this thing, I didn't think that this thing would have any properties whatsoever, because it was man-made. I mean, I was like, there's no way. And believe it or not, it does. And the properties that I was able to find anyway on it was that it seems to help with clarity, and it seemed to help with connection to the creator, as weird as that sounds. So if you are wanting to get a more connection to the creator through meditation or prayer, or just have a clarity of thought, maybe wear some opalite. That might help.
Travis has a question.
Yep.
She wants to know, do you mine and tumble them yourself?
No, I get mine from a place called Juniper Creek Rock Shop in Jackson. And it's a place that I really trust these guys. They do a good job. They're kind of like rock hounds. So they know their stuff. They know their stuff really well. And I really like their work there. And that's where I get it from. I get a lot of the polished stuff there. And then I'll take those stones there and I'll wrap them myself. And again, I'll wrap them and I'll sell them. And then if anybody wants me to do a blessing on the stones, I can before I send them back out to people. But I don't do blessings on stones unless if people ask me to, because I kind of disagree with that, because it's kind of a breaking of free will to do that. That's kind of their free will to make that choice if they want to have it blessed or not. But yeah, that's where I get my stuff from. Uh, Getting back into this, and then I have Bumblebee Jasper on here. I love Bumblebee Jasper. Might I add? It's really pretty. Uh, it's a black and yellow stone.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really pretty. But yeah, that's one of those ones that's very creative access points. Like it has a vibration about creativity, fun loving, happy. Yeah, it's just one of those types of stones. But yeah, that's about all I can think of, at least for as far as those types of things go, as far as stress, anxiety, and creativity goes. There's probably others, honestly. There's probably others.
There are so many different kinds of stones.
Right. Right.
Hey, Nate. Let's see here. So let me go back to my wonderful noteseeds here. All right. So you kind of basically went through, like you said, I know we talked about this 3 and 4 kind of together. So the next question I have are crystals. Are there some that work better for certain zodiac signs, chakras, or personality types?
Yes. I actually want to read from the book on that.
Perfect.
This is so we're gonna read from this book right here. Yeah, this one right here. And we're gonna get into, let's see your page. Let's see your refer to 310 here. Let me go back here. 310. Okay, so we're gonna start off here. These are the birthstones. It's better that the zodiac stones, I would read that, but I'm going to read you what the birthstones are, just because everybody kind of knows these generally. It's kind of like one of those things that generally people know, but just to cover it, I'll do that. January is garnet and rose quartz. February is amethyst and onyx. March is aquamarine and bloodstone. I love bloodstone. I'll get into bloodstone later. April is diamond and clear quartz. May is emerald and chrysoprase. I've never heard of that one. June is pearl and moonstone. July is ruby and carnelian.
See, I didn't know that. I knew ruby. Yeah. I always knew ruby, but carnelian?
Yeah, carnelian. Here, I'll show you carnelian real quick. Where is my carnelian? I may have to. I'll have to get back to you on the carnelian. I have to dig for it. August is peridot, and sardonyx. September is sapphire and lapis lazuli. Yeah, just so you know, I'm a September baby. So there's my sapphire. October is opal and tourmaline. November is topaz and citrine. And December is tanzanite and turquoise. All right, so if you were to wear those stones, it's generally thought that you'll have better luck. Now, the truth of the matter is you probably will have better luck, so to speak. But at the same time, those enhancements upon those stones are going to be even more enhanced because of your alignment, your vibration, and your association with those stones is going to be more similar because of how everything comes out. So continuing on here. So the zodiac list. Now the zodiac list is a little bit different. It's a little bit more expanded. And let me get into that one. The zodiac list says, now this is Aries. That's Now, Aries, for those of you out there who don't know, Aries is March 21st through April 19th. That's carnelian, jasper, ruby, diamond, kunzite, and bloodstone.
Hmm.
Okay. For Taurus, April 20th through May 20th, it's aquamarine, tourmaline, topaz, emerald, and tiger's eye. Gemini, May 21st through June 20th, is citrine, tiger's eye, chrysocolla, pearl, I don't know that one,
That's okay.
and apophyllite. Cancer is June 21st through July 22nd, and that's pearl, moonstone, emerald, ruby, and amber.
Amber's pretty.
Oh, I love amber. I have some amber here.
Yeah.
I'll have to show it to you later.
Trapper has a question.
Yeah.
Trapper, there are no such thing as stupid questions, only stupid answers. So don't feel stupid for asking a
Right.
question. He said, what will ore that contains tungstenite do?
Tungsten?
Tungsten.
I'm not sure about tungsten, to be honest with you. I'd have to look crystal wide. I'd have to look that up. And I think I'm trying to think, is tungsten an alloy, or is that a natural?
So what I can do is I'll star this question so it puts it in my starred category. And what we can do is maybe towards the end, maybe you can look into the book and see what it says in there after you go through the ones that we're doing.
Yeah, we could do that. We could try looking for that. All right, so continuing on here, Leo is July 23rd through August 22nd. Sunstone, clear quartz, ruby, turquoise, and spinel. Virgo, August 23rd through September 22nd, is carnelian, citrine, sapphire, peridot, and sugilite. Libra, September 23rd through October 22nd, opal, lapis lazuli, peridot, adventurine, and jade. Scorpio, October 23rd through November 21st, is kunzite, hecamere diamond. That's a hard one to find. Aquamarine, malachite, and dioptase. Sagittarius, November 22nd through December 21st, is smoky quartz, turquoise, malachite, spinel, blue lace agate. Capricorn, December 22nd through January 19th, onyx, jet, ruby, garnet, and labradorite. Aquarius, January 20th through February 18th, amethyst, aquamarine, angelite, blue chalcedony, and sapphire. Pisces, February 19th through March 20th, calcite, turquoise, pearl, fluorite, rose quartz. Okay, so that's the ones for them in order. Okay, so same situation with these. This is an expanded model of vibratory sound or vibratory things that would match with your birthing chart, so to speak, around about that time period. And the other one is a bit more limited. That's the only difference. And what it would essentially do is it would expand the abilities of those stones to where that those stones you would get more out of them than what you would get from anybody else who would wear them. That's what essentially it means. As far as the chakras go, now the chakra information, let's see here. I'm trying to remember where that was at here. There it is. Okay. So chakra information. So you can put stones in different positions over your body to help align your chakra. Okay. This is vibration attuning, if you will. Now, again, this is I like to consider this almost an unnatural way of doing it, because there's a natural way of aligning your chakra, and that's by actually figuring things out that's wrong about yourself, and actually tuning your body, tuning your soul, so that way that the channels of energy pass through you more naturally, and it comes from up from the ground, from the natural geomagnetic energies of the earth, through you and through your body, and all the way up through, without any hindrance, all the way up through into the creator's energy above. Okay, that is if it's completely aligned properly, and it's naturally aligned properly. But I'm going to put it to you this way: not almost everybody has some sort of a blockage in some way, shape, or form along the way. Almost everybody does.
I'm gonna pause you for 1 second. Darth he's broadcasting us live on Dark Side. So if you want to give a shout out to
Dark
and all
Side
his
Radio.
friends.
Hello all. Hello. Good to see you all.
How are you guys? Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so the energy passes through, okay, and if it's unheated, it goes all the way through and up and out of you, okay, and then if you have that unlocked, you can do wonders, okay. You could start to be able to heal people. You could be able to have direct connections with the creator, get information from angelic beings, things of that nature. It would be just an influx consistently. You could be able to do all that on a regular basis, but most people just cannot do that, not naturally.
Yep.
And they have to work at it. Now, there are ways to tweak your chakras. This is where I get into the unnatural aspect of this, because this is what you're doing, is you're tweaking your chakras by using these stones to be able to vibrate at a certain frequency to allow these certain areas of your body to align more correctly, so that way that the energy passes through you in a direct line, kind of like putting extra connectors throughout your body for energy to pass through and pivot off of, if you will.
Yep.
So there are ways to do that, and I'll tell you, there's 2 layouts that's in this book. Okay, so the first layout, this is a gently balancing and harmonizing choice of stones, which contains lovely complementing colors. Okay, and it's basically for the color preferentials and also some of the vibration of it. Okay, so the crown would be the amethyst, placed on the mat above the crown. So you would be laying on your back, and you would put it above your head, the amethyst. Then the third eye, which is the lapis lazuli, should be about right here. Yep. And then you'd put on the throat part of your body, you would put the blue lace agate. Over the heart, you would put aventurine, okay, which is a green stone, or sometimes orange. I'll show you that later. Over the solar plexus, you put citrine, which is basically where your stomach area is, close to that area. The sacrum, you put the sunstone, and then the base, you put red jasper. Okay.
Oh, Sean. Sean says, "Are we doing sex positions with these spicy rocks now?"
Hey, that's on you. That's on you if you want to do that.
Oh God, Sean.
That's on you. Hey, it might spicing things up for you, if you know what I mean. So
Wink, wink.
So layout 2, okay, layout 2 here, okay. This layout brings in some of the higher energy frequency crystals and is suitable for someone who practices regular meditation because it enhances spiritual awareness. Okay, so for this one, the crown you would put phenacite. I've never heard of phenacite, honestly. You put crown phenacite. Third eye, iolite. Throat, blue moonstone. Heart, kunzite. Solar plexus.
That's a softer stone, right? That's a soft stone,
so.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Solar plexus, golden topaz. I've seen topaz, but I don't know if I've seen golden topaz. Sacrum, you put amber, and at the base you would put ruby. And again, this is for tweaking your energy flows throughout your body. Now, again, I'm going to put it to you how Ra puts it to y'all. Ra doesn't suggest crystals for this. Ra just says, work on yourself. Know thyself. Figure yourself out. And then figure out what you need to work on so that way you can improve those energy channels naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with Ra on that. So, again, but at the same time, if you want to do that, I give you the information to allow yourself to be able to align that energy a bit better. Okay. Now, as far as do you want me to go ahead and read the information here on because there was a lot of information here that was because this is kind of in a similar area on healing crystals and what ones are used for what and for like generalized things.
Yeah, that was pretty much, I mean, you have the question. So that was kind of leading into the next one. And that'll be perfect because I as you know, they call me the Cocker Spaniel. I do have to run to the ladies' room. So if you want to continue reading that, I will be right back.
Gotcha. All right, I'll go ahead and read
guys.
off the things that these things are used for, and if you want to try these out, you can. This is again, I can't promise anything, but if you try, you might have some luck with it. All right, for allergic reactions. Now, I thought these were interesting. Hematite, which is also used for blood type of things. Hematite, bloodstone, which I am a big fan of. It also helps to cleanse the blood as well. And rose quartz. Now, as far as asthma goes, we'll get into that here in a moment. Asthma is malachite, rhodochrosite, and chrysocolla. Now, I would even add in moss agate into that one as far as asthma goes. Anemia, garnet, bloodstone, and hematite. Backache, amber, citrine, and denberite. And you might even have some luck with possibly even hematite on your backache, possibly. Bacterial infections, sulfur, malachite, and aventurine. So, bladder problems, prehnite, amber, and orange calcite. I've had a bit of luck with actually, believe it or not, with amber and having kidney and bladder infections. So I've had a bit of luck with that actually. Blood circulation, red jasper, bloodstone, and hematite. Big ones there. I agree heavily with those three choices out of this book. Big time on those. Bloodstone, especially. I'm going to be honest with you. There's times where I'm just feel like I'm going to die as far as like being tired, and I'll put on a bloodstone, and it's like my energy just doesn't ever go away, and that's just what it feels like. I don't know how to
I feel
explain
like I need one of those.
Yeah, I suggest bloodstone if you have energy level problems. Blood purification, ruby, garnet, malachite, and aventurine. Bowel problems, we're going there. Lepidolite, peridot, and green fluorite.
Thanks, Darth. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks, Darth. Broken bones, calcite, any color, azurite, and fluorite, any color. Cancer support. Now, again, FDA, I'm just reading out of the book here. Rose quartz, sugilite, watermelon tourmaline. Chronic fatigue syndrome, ruby, amber, aventurine, amethyst. Constipation, smoky rudolized smoky quartz, black tourmaline. Detoxification, smoky quartz, sulfur, malachite, and I would even add in black tourmaline into that as well for detoxification as well. Digestive problems, green fluorite, amber, and citrine. Eating disorders, rose quartz. Again, rose quartz makes sense because rose quartz allows you to love the self a bit better. That makes sense. Eating disorders, rose quartz,
Mm-hmm.
kunzite, watermelon tourmaline. Environmental pollution. I don't know how that's in here. Smoky quartz, zincite, and merlinite. I guess if you have you have problems with environmental pollution. I guess if you had the asthma or something that's triggered by that. I guess that's what that means. Anyway, smoky quartz, zincite, and merlinite. Eye problems: aquamarine, blue chalcedony, blue tiger's eye. Fertility, to improve. Yeah, there's the other one too. Fertility, to improve. Rose quartz, that's the love stone, makes sense. Garnet and blue moonstone.
Sorry, I'm laughing at the chat because the comments. Sean said, so for chronic fatigue, how will those spicy rocks handle my children? Which Teabag replied with, I think you toss them at them and then yell magic missile.
Oh,
side note / question from our girl Cass, who I absolutely love. She's like my twin. She said, I love you, Ash. I love you, Ash, but I wonder, does he use his pool table? LOL. I know that just goes because she's curious, and ours ended up as a table as much as I love pool.
I honestly, before this show that I do on Wondercast, it became a table, and it had piles of stuff on it and piles of stuff. And then once I got it all cleaned off, and I was like, I got an all new setup for the back end here. And then people didn't want to believe me. They were like, "Oh, that's the green screen. That's not real. That's not real." I was like, "Okay, fine." So I went over there and I shot the pool balls on the table, and then so be it. So, but yeah, that is, I use it from time to time. I really do, and especially now, considering I have to have it open and everything. But yeah, so fibromyalgia, amethyst, aventurine, and blue lace agate. Aventurine makes sense because it's get you out and about and just moving and things of that nature. And amethyst is also to help you mend the spirit, if you will. Foot problems: black onyx, smoky quartz, and preonite. Headaches: rose quartz, number 1 on here. I find that interesting because I've had luck with rose quartz with headaches. Rose quartz, blue lace agate, aquamarine, and I would even add hematite in there. Hematite's a good one for headaches. Heart organ issues: lavender quartz, rhodochrosite, and garnet. And let's see here. Well, we just gonna keep going here. How do you want me to just keep going? Do you want me to keep? I mean, I got 2 more pages.
I mean, we can leave it up to the chat. I mean, we do have, maybe we can kind of touch base. Or do
you want me to go back on it later?
We can go back on it later because we're about an hour in. So now that we've mentioned so many different, type of stones, what they can do. One of the questions was, which crystals is right for you? Is it intuition, research, or something else? We're going to say both. Do your research first. Like, Ash is reading. If you want to plug that book one more time before I go to the next question, go ahead and do that real quick.
Yeah, that's Crystals. And that's Jenny Harding is the name of the author on this one. Yep. But yeah, I would suggest.
Okay, so the next.
Use your intuition.
Yeah, intuition and research, 100%. So let's kind of move on to caring for all of these crystals that do different things for us. What are the best practices for cleaning and maintaining crystals to keep them energetically and physically in top shape?
My personal opinion. All right. This is my personal opinion. Not different people out there have different opinions on this. Okay. So my personal opinion is I charge my energy of these crystals with love and light energy of the creator. Okay. The one creator. Okay. I essentially pray for them to be blessed, if you will. And that energy just keeps going with them. It just keeps going with them. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop ever. Okay. And that energy doesn't ever go away whenever you do it that way. Now, for some, that it might be just as simple as taking your crystal outside in a sunny day and allowing it to be sitting outside and allow the light to just shine on it. And for a good 12 hours or so, just, get a good charge, Or in the case of some crystals, like for instance, with, I have this one right here. This one's a problem child. This one right here is a problem child. But this is aragonite, okay? And it's very crystally, very crystally. It's made of calcite. It's made of a form of calcite, and you can't submerge this in water; it'll melt. You can't leave it out in the sun for too long, or else its shine will go away. So for the best thing for this type of crystal, if you were to charge it, would be to under the moonlight, because it's not as intense. Now, again, light is light. Light will bounce off of that moon and then come back down upon that crystal, and it'll do the charging that it needs to have done. It just might take it a little bit longer with one of these if you're charging it with moonlight. But as far as my opinion anyway is I just skip all of that. I use the love and light of the one creator. And I bless it. And once it's been blessed, that energy is there. And it's forever enhanced. It's forever there. And it's even better than what it would have been before. So that's the way I use it. And that's the way I do it. Now,
Kravitz has a quick question.
Each their own.
Do you know if there is a chart for frequencies of these stones?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew there was a chart for frequencies of stones. I'd love to have it. Honestly, I don't have a chart for the actual frequencies, but I do have like a chart in that book of what all they're used for and what their purposes are for and all of that. And that basically would fit along with it, with the vibration and all of that.
And Ma Bell says, Ash, you guys need to go rock hunting together.
Yes, we do. Yes, that sounds fun. Yes, I'm down. But yes, as far as the charging goes, to each their own. I mean, I don't prefer the moon, but I have my own personal reasons why I don't prefer the moon. But at the same time, it's just light bouncing off of its surface. So it shouldn't be affected that much by it. But knowing what I know, I don't prefer the moon. And I'm not a big fan of the moon. So, but at the same time, it can be done. It can be done using the moon. And for some, like that aragonite, it might be useful to use the moon.
Yep. Can you store all crystals together, or are there combinations that might clash energetically?
You can store them all together. That doesn't really conflict. But as far as putting them on yourself, that could conflict. So, like for instance, for them just being by themselves together, there's no catalyst there between the two to be able to do anything. The vibrations are just there and they bounce off of each other. Okay. Whereas through a human body, okay, you're passing it's basically like passing and connecting a connection, if you will. And through that human body, that vibration of the body picks it up, and then it fixes certain things. and then it does certain things for you. And then there's some stones, like for instance, I'm going to put one out there, just another example here. Carnelian. You may not want to wear carnelian if you are wearing something like amethyst or something, one of those types of stones, because carnelian ignites your inner fire, if you will. It makes you ready to rear and go and ready to do things and get out there and do stuff. Whereas the amethyst is about putting you down and relax, chill.
Yeah, that would be, my body does that alone. I don't need stones to help me along in that path of fighting
right.
each
And then you'd have this confliction of, well, I don't know if I want to get up and go or if I want to relax. I don't know what I want to do. So so there's those types of instances of the vibration causing the effect of the mind and the mind effect conflicting, if you will.
Yeah,
So you have to be
exactly.
careful of
Like
those types
Krabbit
of
said, you have a frequency and so does the stones. And
Yep.
everybody's frequencies is different. So what may work for one may not work for another, which is why your research, take notes, learn, and just because you put it on one day and, you're supposed to feel more energetic, maybe something's going on, maybe weather, maybe you got a bad phone call. Don't just put it on once and then walk away from it.
Correct.
It's something that you need to continuously try. Even try different things. If you're wearing it with polyester one day and it's not working, but you switch it up the next day and you're wearing cotton, you got to try all different things, guys,
Different vibrations can rub off on you and cause different things, and certain stones may not do good for you that day because of certain vibrations that are rubbing off on you on that day. Yeah.
Or people that are around you.
Yes,
You got somebody around you that's a succubus. No stone is going to help you feel okay.
Yes,
what I mean?
That's so true.
Yes. To go back kind of what you were talking about, I know I breezed by this one, but how often should someone cleanse their crystals, and does it depend on how frequently they use it?
Yeah, it from what I understand anyway, it mostly depends on how much you use it. It depends on, like, if has it gotten dirty? Is it smudged? Does it look like it needs to be cleaned? I mean, as far as that goes, just give it a good wipe down. Just to give it a rag wipe down. In some cases, you might be able to use water. Now, with the aragonite, I wouldn't suggest using water on it. I would just suggest, just wiping it down or giving a air duster blow off or something like that. Just depends on the stone. Honestly, it really depends on the stone, because each stone is different for each thing. They each have their own ways about them, including their own materialistic ways, and sometimes that material just doesn't do well with water. So
Yeah,
I would suggest
I
being
learned that
careful
the
with
hard
it.
way with one. That's why research is super important to do that. So we're
Yep.
at a little past 10, about 10:15. So I tried to do this since we have some new friends in here as well. We have some amazing chatters and we have some lurkers that I see out there. So Ash, again, where can people find you? Plug the book one more time and let everyone know what your week looks like.
Well, book I have here is Crystals, and it's from Jenny Harding. So if you get a chance to check it out, check it out. It's helped me tremendously in figuring some of this stuff out. As far as my week goes, the plan is for Lightside Radio on Tuesday. I do that at 3:00 p.m. Central Time, and I run for about 6 hours up into K-Star's broadcast, and I raid her broadcast for a movie night that she does. She does 2 movies on that night, so come check us out. We do music and a movie, if you will. And then on Saturdays, I have my Wondercast, which is kind of my big show, if you will. Wondercast I run for around about 8 or 9 hours, honestly. But if you really just want to come for the main portion of the show, really it's about 4.5 hours, 4.5 to 5 hours at most. The rest of it is just hangout session where we just kind of chill, hang out, watch weird stuff, and maybe even make fun of the weird stuff that we see on there. You know, that's just kind of how it goes on Wondercast at the end of the night. And I even bring in some news broadcasts in there, some things. I bring in all kinds of stuff in that hangout session. It's a little bit of everything in there. Mystery, yeah, everything. And then
Mystery, mayhem,
yeah,
craziness.
yeah, just anything and everything in that hangout session. Sometimes we even watch a movie or something from time to time. That happens from time to time. Yeah.
Hey, you know, like I said, it's a hangout without having to go anywhere. You get all your friends in the comments. It's great.
Right.
Uh, that's an obscene amount of time, Sean said. Sean, I don't how many 6-hour streams have you done every night? Shush.
Yeah, I run a long shift on Saturdays, and it's 8 to 9 hours. Usually run over, honestly. It's usually closer to 10. Truthfully, it's getting closer. It's more closer to 10. Usually about 9 hours and 35, 9 hours and 45 minutes, somewhere in that area.
And
But
people
yeah,
love it.
yeah, they do. Yeah, they
People
love
love
it. They come in. They
K-Star is
come in at
great.
all
She is
times.
K-Star is amazing. Sometimes on Thursday nights, if we go late, like late, like 2:30, she'll stream into our show too. She's amazing. She's super fun.
Yeah, I like K Star a lot. She's a good girl.
All right. So talking about cleaning, cleansing, blessing, what does it mean to actually charge a crystal?
Well, if you will, this is going back to the law of one. Okay. Any type of light or love is charging. So whenever you're using the rudimentary sun to, or if you will, going back to the law of one, the logos of the sun, the direct connection to the creator, that is the love and light energy that is production of from the creator, the central energy that is the creator, if you will, that passes through into the crystal. The crystal is charged by that light and that energy is collected within it. And for that energy to be used even further and within the day or whatever. Now, same thing goes with the moon. The light comes out of the sun, hits the moon, bounces off the moon, comes down and hits the crystals on the ground or whatever, and it charges it that way. I don't prefer that method, but just because I know what the moon is and I know a little bit about the moon, and I don't prefer it. But nonetheless, you can do that as well, and it shouldn't affect it in a negative aspect at all, because light is light, love is light, and my aspect, the way I do it, is I just basically pray for essentially the blessing for the love and light energy of the one creator to infinitely be charged into the crystals themselves, which you don't ever have to do it ever again after that.
Yeah.
That's the only difference.
I see what you're saying. All right. So, practical tips in getting started. For someone who's new to crystals, what are 2 to 3 beginner-friendly crystals and or books that they should start with, and why?
Sorry, I missed that. I was reading
You
I was
reading the
reading
comment?
Sean's comment.
Yeah, Sean.
He says, "Stop being a wuss. I want to see 24-hour streams." Sorry, repeat that. He caught me off guard with that one. I was laughing
He
in my
has
head
a
on that one.
history, and I think he enjoys doing that, of making people speechless. Like that's like his main goal, to see like what did he do. Um,
That's funny.
So, for someone new to crystals, what are 2 to 3 beginner-friendly crystals and or books that they should start with, and why?
I would suggest, I mean, personally, my suggestion is obsidian, number one. I I cannot tell you how much that stone has helped me, and it has changed everything from here on out for me. Um, it has given me a breath of relief for the things that I'm dealing with. We'll just say that. And I deal with a lot. And going back to what I talked about in my the previous show that I did with you, I deal with a lot,
Yep.
and this has given me a breath of fresh air, if you will, and allows me to not be able to be drained by these dark things that are coming around, and allows me to be able to go out and outside of my home, because I had blessed my home from these dark things. But when I leave my home, I have no protection other than the obsidian. And so then I go out there
Mm-hmm.
and I go around and I'm good. I have no problems when I'm out and about. But if I don't wear that obsidian, I'll come back home with something wrong with me. Something will be wrong with me. They'll have gotten through some way, and they'll have messed with my body chemistry in some way, shape, or form. So I strongly suggest obsidian. Example right here, obsidian. This is a obsidian arrowhead that I wear on a regular basis. I wear this everywhere. Whenever I go out anywhere, this is where I wear. But any obsidian will work. Quite honestly, any obsidian will work. But I just prefer the black obsidian. I just think I like that one better. But
So
you could also
obsidian
try
would be
amethyst. Lawson, that's good thing you didn't see all his comments, right? But yeah, I would suggest amethyst as well, because amethyst is good for spiritual healing as well as sleep, dreams, things of that nature. If you're having those issues, lepidolite is a good one for calm. Citrine's good for that happiness feeling, good that get out there and go and happy feeling. Venturine is good for conquering your world and around you, essentially, in abundance. Trying to think here. Carnelian is good for igniting that inner fire. If you're having problems with just being you, carnelian might be a good one for that.
and always our quartz.
Yep.
Rose quartz.
Oh, quartz. Yeah, quartz. Quartz is always a good one because quartz has healing properties. Quartz is just a clarification, clarity stone. It also has some connectiveness to the creator as well as far as prayer goes and meditation. Yeah, it's good. It's a good one. I like quartz. I have my quartz. Where's my quartz? Where is my quartz? Right here.
So as you're bringing all of these up, let the boys and girls know where they can reach out to you and how, and what kind of questions should they ask you if they would like to purchase one of these stones / wearables from you.
Yeah, I don't have any like place yet that I've got established for anything yet. But if you guys are interested in anything, send me an email. You can go to wondercastshow@gmail.com. It's all lowercase. And you can also find it in my show. You can go to any one of my broadcasts. In the description box below, you'll find the email right there. And you can send me an email asking what all I have, like for specific stones. Or if you just want to ask, hey, what do you suggest for such and such issue or this or that or whatever? And then I'll just tell you what I have or what would work, and you can go from there.
Yep. Perfect. So that brings me to my next question is, how can listeners incorporate crystals into their daily routine, such as meditations, carrying them, or placing them within their home?
Different means and methods. As far as my personal opinion is, a lot of it is wearing them. You have to wear them primarily. There are some stones that are good for just like generalized area, like area effect. A good one for area effect is calcite. Calcite's strange. Calcite produces a hedging effect if you have enough of it. You have to have a lot of it. You have to have a lot of it.
You guys and your questions. I love my chat. My chat, my peeps are amazing. So we know exactly who this is talking about. So Mikey would like to know, Ash, what crystals do you suggest for an autistic co-host?
Well, let's see here.
Oh,
Anything for clarity, I would say.
Poo
I would
Monkey,
say
I
anything for
know
clarity.
Rumble has been rumbling a lot lately. I will say the app is a lot easier currently than if you're using your browser on your phone. Computer is the best place to use it, but Rumble's been rumbling. I think they're doing a lot of refreshing, a lot of upgrading. Um,
I don't know
so
what they're
they
doing.
it's been ask Cass. Cass has been going back and forth. She probably has 700 emails back and forth. Um, so I apologize. That was a good one.
But I mean, as far as area effects go and things, calcite's kind of strange because it has a hedging effect.
Mhm.
You have naturally it's kind of weak, honestly, truthfully, but it does work. You have to place them an inch apart, and it could be any horizontal surface around an area an inch apart. Okay. Now you expand that out to 7 inches if you have it blessed. So if you bless the stones, it increases to a 7 by 7 fold, if you will, amount of space. So you get for every 7 inches, you can place the stones as opposed to 1 inch. And you can hedge out dark beings from out of an area with these stones. And it doesn't matter the vertical space, it just matters the horizontal space. So you could place them around the edges of your door frame. And then once you get to the door frame, you can place the next stone up on the top of the door frame. And it would still connect the connection, as weird as that sounds.
Mhm.
Horizontal
Perfect.
space is all it needs. But yeah, different stones, different methods.
Yep. What is the biggest mistake people make when working with crystals, and how can they avoid it?
I think we've already talked about that a little bit, and that's essentially the idea that I can just have them in my pocket and I'll get it off of that. I'm like, no, that's not the answers I'm getting. We'll just put it that way. It's like my crystal work tells me no, that doesn't work that way. Because I think you're right, Gina. Honestly, I think you're right, and that
Mhm.
frequency of the pants or frequency of your coat or frequency of whatever that you're wearing, shirt, whatever the case may be, is interrupting with that or blocking it in some way, shape, or form. I think there's
That's
something
why
to
we're all
that.
born naked.
Right. Right.
We
But
weren't
yeah,
meant
but yeah,
for these things.
metal passes the energy through the vibration through it. That's what I've found. So different metals, if you wear different metals, it will pass it through. Yes, and you also get the effects off of the metal too, because each metal will have an effect too.
Yep. Sean said, speaking of spicy rocks, do kidney stones count? No, but there is a stone to help with kidney stones, Sean.
I mean, that's calcium.
Kravitz, you have a great point. I do put stones around my garden, my plants. I also put a rod in with copper that goes up around my garden as well. And I've noticed a huge difference.
Speaking of stones that might be helpful for plants, I do have something for that.
Oh, perfect.
Right here. This is tree agate. It's got green flake in it, and it's primarily white, but it has green flake in it. It kind of looks almost like it has tree branches almost in it. That's what it kind of almost looks like.
Yeah.
But tree agate, I have done some crystal work on this one and finding some information on it. And it does have properties that has to do with helping plants grow. So if you put tree agate next to these plants, I don't know how far. I'd have to dig into that a little further. But if you put the tree agate next to these plants, it will help them grow a little bit faster and a little bit, I guess better, overall better.
Yep. My chat coming in with their jokes. Mr. Scott says, I wet my plants.
It's always good to wet your plants, just not
Oh,
with anything but water.
right, exactly. And I'm sure maybe this is something that we can look up or just throw out there. I'm sure there may be stones that you can put inside your water that you can let sit there before you even water your plants as well. I'm sure that is also a
I
beneficial
bet you
thing.
tree agate would do it.
Yeah.
I bet you tree agate would do it. I would almost guarantee you it would do it. I would have to ask questions officially to make sure that is the case, but I would almost bet you it could do it.
Welcome in,
And and
FL.
and in case if you're wondering how that works and why, how does the vibration of the crystal pass on to the water? Well, because water has memory, guys. Water has
100%. I've
memory.
seen those things where they've put like an object in the water and then they put on a petri dish the water and they freeze it and the crystals actually mimic whatever they had inside the water. It's pretty cool. So
Correct.
water has memory 100%.
And your intention will be passed off onto the water if you pass off your intention onto the water. That's why
Mhm.
whenever I go collect water, I have a tendency to try to thank the water and bless the water whenever I bring it back, because I try to give it thanks, because that vibration will pass off to it.
Yeah, 100%. All right, next question here. Where should people source their crystals to ensure they're ethically obtained and of good quality?
That's a good question, because you need to go through people that you trust. You need to go through people who is going to treat those crystals correctly, and to get those crystals correctly from good sources that have not been through slave labor and things of that nature. Yes, I 100% agree with you. That is a hard one to do in some instances, because some of these trades, it gets to be difficult. So I would suggest going to places that you trust, really suggestly trust. Even if they do get a vibration put upon them of negativity as they've been brought to you, you can cleanse that off. Even though it's terrible that it became a negative thing for it to come to you to that point, but nonetheless, um, I would always suggest cleansing your crystals before bringing them to you. At least giving them a bless. I give them blessings. At least whenever I do ones that I keep myself. Now for others, I suggest just giving them a cleansing, giving them like a prayer, if you will. That's the best way I can do it, is just give it a prayer. Say, God, bless these crystals, make them cleansed from all the negativity that has come to them to this point. You know, give it a good cleansing. And I'm telling you right now, if you do it right and you cleanse it properly through prayer, you can't do it wrong, because prayer is way more powerful than doing it with any of these solvents or anything that you can put on that crystal. It's going to be way more powerful. That love and that light energy is just way more powerful.
Danger Mike. Mikey, second question, Hash. Is there a crystal that helps alleviate a Boston accent that makes someone speak proper English?
Sorry, can't help
I
that.
love you too, Mike. Damn.
Can't help that. Can't help my Southeast Missourian accent either.
All right, so we're gonna encroach our last five questions that I have here. So if you could work, and I think I know your answer on this one. So if you could work with just one crystal the rest of your life, which would it be and why?
I think you probably know, but yeah, obsidian would probably be my choice, because it's the one I can't leave the house without, and it's the one that I can pretty much do anything with that I so choose that I needed to do with. Yeah, I think that would be the one I would choose, honestly.
All right. So this probably is the same one, but this could be a different one because I know you have your own special crystal. Have you ever had a crystal speak to you or felt an instant connection with one? And what was that like? And what was it?
I've had a few of those actually. there's lots of times where I'll just pass by and then I'll just look at something and I'll be like, I just can't pass it up. It just keeps calling to me. It just seems like it just keeps calling to me. I had one today. I had one yesterday. I went into the rock shop yesterday. I had one call to me yesterday. This one right here, Muakite.
Muakite? What's that?
Yeah, Muakite. I honestly don't know what it does.
Ooh, you got a book.
Yeah, I can look it up. I mean, I can look it up right now. Let me see. I'll look it up. See if I can find it.
Let's see.
Yeah, it'll be new for me too.
Sean wants to know what accent did it speak in.
It was more like a feeling of you can't pass this up. You can't pass me up. It was more like that feeling. Like I just couldn't stop looking at it. I don't know how to explain that. But that's basically what it was. And it was just a feeling of I just couldn't pass it up. All right, so let me look it up here. Muakite. Let's see here. Muakite 36. All right, let's look. What we got here?
Let's do it live.
Let's do it live.
FL. Listen, FFL something 69. You can ask any questions, make any statements. I do suggest and I do ask that you just be respectful. You can challenge people on their questions, their beliefs, ask questions, do all of that stuff. Freedom of speech, power to you. You can come in here and tell me you hate my hat and you hate the color of my shirt. But be respectful as you do it. Don't call people retarded. Don't call people names. Just come in here, raise your questions, raise your opinions. That's totally fine, honey.
Okay, so it appears that Muakite is a form of brown jasper. Okay, so helps to clear toxins from the body and supports the immune system, which is something I needed. I did need that. Something for immune system help. Strengthens the energy at the base of the spine. I find that interesting because I had recently had some lower back pain before that. Muakite is used to help reproductive issues and is good stone to hold or carry during pregnancy. Interesting.
Are you pregnant, Ash? Do you have something to tell us?
I don't know, but I don't think I'm pregnant, but I think that I have a food baby for sure. But yeah, I think this was primarily because of the immune system. I think that's what I was kind of driven towards, possibly.
Yeah.
Immune system and base of the spine. That makes sense. Because I do have an immune issue. I have a immune globulin A problem. I'm very low in it.
Gotcha. All right. We got 3 questions left before we throw out if anyone else in the comments has any questions. So are there any trending crystals right now that people are particularly excited or talking about?
The only one I can think of that people seem to be like really buzzing about is selenite.
And what is that?
I have a patch of selenite right here. That's selenite. It pretty much just glows.
Glows, huh? Oh, oh. And what does that particular stone known for, and what does it do?
It is used for charging. This is another method you can. I actually forgot about this method. Thank you for bringing this up, honestly, because I had actually forgotten that you can use selenite for this. But yes, you can. If you were to get like a selenite, like I guess a board, they sell selenite boards you can get, And if you were to take crystals and place the selenite or place them on the selenite, now you have to charge your selenite. So whether that be through prayer, whether that be through sun, whether that be through whatever, but you charge the selenite. And the weird thing about selenite is once it's charged, like it has almost infinite amounts of charge, as weird as that sounds.
Okay.
And it passes that light energy through it very effectively. And you can put your stones on top of selenite, and that charge will actually pass through the stones from the selenite into the stones, and it'll react just like you would from getting the sun charge. So selenite's very useful. And also, this is going to get into the crystal work information right here about selenite. But there's a reason why I have that thing right there, back there, okay? And
Yeah.
I use that for the purposes of blessings, okay? And I do blessings, and I do any type of energy type of work, if you will. I will do a prayer through the Creator, and then I will ask for a blessing to be done through me, through the crystals, for the purposes of that blessing. And when I do that way, using the selenite, it will enhance the blessing to the point of, instead of the taxation being upon my energy whenever something was to happen, let's say I bless a obsidian crystal for somebody.
Yeah.
Let's say they're out and about and dark beings are around, and that energy is bouncing these dark beings off and whatnot. Now, eventually, my blessing is going to start taking away a bit of my energy because of my connection to blessing that stone. And I'm going to start getting tired.
Yeah.
It's not dangerous. It's not dangerous for me, but other than I'm just going to start getting tired. And I started noticing this happening when I started doing more blessings for people. I started realizing I started getting more tired. And then I started looking into it and found out that, the more blessings, the more of myself I put out there, the more it's draining off of me. So then I started looking into selenite, and I found out that selenite basically allows energy connection from the Creator, and it pulls off of the selenite as opposed to me first, as long as I use the selenite to pass the energy through.
Oh, okay. So that goes back to certain crystals work better together than alone. Interesting.
And your body is a crystal. You're a crystalline structure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we got 2 more questions left. I just want to let the chats know that I appreciate you guys all in here. Good, bad, the ugly, you guys are all welcome, and I appreciate every single one of you. And my friends that are in here, that crystals may not be your thing. I appreciate your love and support for being here to support me through this journey. So I love all of you guys. All right, so next question. What is the most unique and or rare crystal you've ever come across, and what made it so special?
Well, actually held in my hand, moldavite.
Moldavite. What is that, and where can you find it, and how does it work?
I don't suggest anybody. Hey, Sean. Hey, pirate.
Are you going to answer my questions then, maybe?
Yar!
Welcome in, John.
All right. Listen. I've got some questions. I've heard about your spicy rocks, and I'm not convinced.
Okay.
Oh, here we go, Ash. Here is your moment of truth. But first, let Ash finish with his my question. What was the most unique crystal they came across, and what made it so special?
Okay, moldavite. I would not suggest anybody take this crystal or the stone, so to speak, for themselves, only because where it came from. I don't suggest it, but when I first came in contact with it, it was a guy I was working alongside of at a event, and I was selling my crystals. He was selling his crystals, and so anyway.
Mikey.
A crystal for autistic co-host use it
Mikey
now.
Gosh,
Anyway,
if you have
so
that crystal
he was
for
selling his
autistic
crystals, and I was
co-host, use
selling
it
my
now.
crystals. But anyway, so the guy, me and him got to talking about stuff, and I was like, so what's the rarest one you got over there right now? And he said, I don't show it to people. And I go, all right, well, I want to. Now I'm really interested because I want to know, you know. So then he's like, all right. He goes, so he pulls it out. It's a little plastic bag. It was like this big, and it was this little piece of stone. And it was green. It was kind of greenish black, if you will. And
I don't think that was a stone. I think that was a booger.
When I picked it up, I was just like, I looked at it. I was like, is this what I think it is? And he said, yeah. And I go, Moldavite. And he goes, yeah. I go, this is not from here. And he goes, yeah, I know. And I was like, this crashed here. And he goes, yes, I know. And I was like, where did you get this from? And he's like, there's a guy I know that has connections in Russia and Ukraine. And I'm like, wow. And this is a rare stone. I do mean rare. Like it's only found in one part or like one or two parts of the world, and it's in separate places but close by. And supposedly the story is that this stone is a meteorite that fell from the heavens, kind of exploded in the atmosphere, and then kind of spread out over the region, so to speak. Well, the remote viewing on this information on what it is really strange, because the remote viewing does not say that. The remote viewing actually says that this is a spaceship that exploded in the atmosphere by war between a light side versus dark side, if you will, battle. And this is the dark side ship that exploded in the sky. And this is the Moldavite that I was holding in my hands. I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't have a good vibration. It's very negative. It's very, it seems like in a weird sort of way, it was kind of like I felt it almost like it was like trying to like seep into my mind. As weird as that sounds, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I don't suggest it. I don't suggest anybody have it. The guy had it. It was like the piece this big, and it was like $95 for a piece this big. So I don't suggest getting it. I don't suggest anybody having it. Basically, if you will, it's a demon ship, a devil ship. That's essentially what essentially that this piece was from. That's what they are. Fourth, fifth density demons and devils, if you will.
Oh.
Okay. Last question I have, and then Chaya is back. And I do have a couple of things that she would like to ask you and have your input on it. But the last question I have, which is great for you, is if you could have a crystal playlist, what songs or vibes would match the energy of your favorite crystals?
What kind of fruity fucking question is that? Let's get to the real question.
John, this is a great question.
You know,
he literally plays music all the time.
You know,
crystals
I
aren't little DJs.
You know, I do have a list here, and I thought that these fit. Okay, considering what they do.
Let's
okay?
hear.
Okay, so Obsidian, Nala, Psychic Attack. I don't know if you've ever heard that song, but check it out sometime. Selenite, Ascend the Helix, Born of the Light. Amethyst, Dakin, Dream Warriors.
I feel like we're shouting out random words now.
Tiger's Eye, for today, Fearless. Carnelian, Electric Cowboy. We got the moves. I don't know. It's kind of like my call card, if you will, whenever I come on the Darts channel. Rose quartz, again, electric callboy, arrow of love. Howlite, mastodon, asleep in the deep. Opalite, soulfly, prophecy. Quartz, clear quartz, corn, start the healing. Labradorite, ginger, I speak astronomy.
That sounds like a dog.
Tourmaline,
A fat dog that eats a lot.
tourmaline, endure, loose sucker. That's the song, believe it or not. Skystone, yes, the Skystone. Nobody knows about the Skystone, but a very few people. But the Skystone.
And everybody in our chat.
Norman
Good job with that.
Spirit in the Sky.
Spirit in the Sky. That's a great song.
Yeah, Moldavite, which is the one I just was talking about. Monster Magnet, Space Lord. Aluminum. I figured this was funny. Aluminum. Weird Al Yankovic, foil.
The aluminum, guys, not aluminium. Aluminum.
Yeah. Ice. Yes, ice is a crystal. Lindsey Sterling, crystallize.
Oh, God.
Bloodstone. Suicide silence, wake up. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that's a stone that will make you wake up.
Coffee does that too.
Larvicite. Hate breed. I will be heard. Because Larvicite's all about being heard. Aventurine. Living color. Cult of personality. Citrine. We butter the bread with butter. Nice. Because it makes you feel nice. Amber. Fear Factory, regenerate, because that's a very regenerative stone. It helps to regenerate a lot of organ issues and things. But yeah, there's my answer for some of the things.
Mikey and his
I thought
question.
about that a bit. I thought about that one a bit. When I sent that, I laughed. I laughed whenever I read it. I was like, that's a great question. I was like, funny but great question.
Right.
You
all
give
right,
your
so
guests
I have
questions beforehand. What kind of Hillary Clinton bullshit is this?
Yeah, because some of them, he may need to know. Okay, so we're gonna hit the starred questions that I have. So
on some of it.
Yeah. So Trapper, we asked that one. Okay. So Chaya would like to know if you've heard of this story and what you think of it. So she says that, where did it go? Oh, come on, Gina, focus here. During the time of King Solomon, there was a tremendous knowledge of healing and medicine. It was so powerful and effective that the Chachamim, the old Jewish, I'm going to butcher this, sagas, wrote it all down and sealed it, TBC, and sealed it away because people might turn to the knowledge instead of attributing healing to God and praying to God for salvation.
Well, there's truth to that, because you don't attribute the healing from the stones themselves. It's the vibration that the Creator placed in the stones for the purposes of the healing. There's a difference. Yes, they are the connection, if you will, but they are a cheat sheet. They are a receipt that you can use for anything for the purposes of healing yourself, because it's vibratory, because it's direct connection to the Creator. So for those who have a weak mind, if you will, they'll say, yes, the stones are what healed me. It's only the stones. Only the stones did it. No, it's not only the stones. The Creator healed you through the access point that is the stones.
Could he have just healed you with, I don't know, his own vibes?
He could, if it's his will, or if it is enough of your will that is in concordance with his will.
I love when Sean questions. See, Sean is on the fence about this whole God thing. So this is making him think.
No, it's just like, listen, it's like it comes across as Christianity with extra steps. If God can just do it, then he'll just do it.
Christianity with extra steps. That's a great
Well,
thing.
technically, Christianity is the extra steps, but it is what it is. But the religion has been separated out in so many different ways. So, I mean, it is what it is.
All right. Cass has a question. So how do you know a vibration? Is it kind of like a cucktard you run into, or someone who puts off a bad or good feeling? Is that what you mean, vibrations?
The vibration of the frequency of stones will be of a positive or a negative vibration. It's just a natural thing that they all have. They all have a connection to one side or the other, or in some cases, sometimes they are neutral. Some of them are neutral. Some of them are truly neutral. I think, as I understand it, obsidian is pretty neutral. But at the same time, it has a very protective stance when it comes to negative entities.
Okay. Mr. Scott said, what rocks or crystals would protect you from Hillary Clinton figures?
The 9mm ones.
Yeah. Third densities, as far as that goes, I mean, crystals are going to protect you from certain aspects, but it's not going to protect you from the physical aspect of somebody shooting you. So suiciding is, or Clinton siding, I should say, is something that you can't be saved from, so to speak.
Chaya said, well said. Cass said, Sean, you have to be willing and accepting when God knocks on your heart. This is an important question, Gina. Inquiring minds want to know. What is the question?
What was the question?
Probably why I look like a gay pirate, and that is because I've busted in the stream uninvited, so I can ask my own questions.
Hey, that's exactly what I assumed was the reason why you were coming in looking like a pirate. I thought you were pirating into the chat. That's exactly what I thought.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know he was coming in. I just heard the
listen,
and there
Ash
he
might
was.
Ash might talk about spicy rocks, but he's not an idiot. he knows what's up.
Yeah,
he does know.
So condescending question number 1.
Oh,
do crystals ever forget?
I apologize in advance, Ash.
Do crystals ever forget their healing vibes and just act like regular rocks on a bad day?
Well, I mean, if you don't have them charged correctly, I guess it could be. I mean, if you don't clean them, you don't keep them polished, so to speak. Yeah, I guess it could hinder the vibration of that frequency and cause them just to be silly rocks.
All right. If chakras are spinning energy wheels, why don't we get dizzy or see them on the X-ray at the doctor's office?
Ash, I apologize in advance for my co-host.
because the energy is just a representation of the energy that passes through your spine, and is a passage of your up through your base of your spine, through your body, up through into your brain, and through and out of your head through to the creator. It's just energy. It's all it is. It's just a representation of energy. Flow of energy, if you will.
Okay. Touche, good sir. How do crystals decide which one gets to be the love stone versus the money stone? Is there a rock addition that we don't know about?
Well, as far as that goes, that you'd have to take that up with the creator. The creator chose all that stuff out. I don't know what to say about that. Creator chose the love stone, which would be the rose quartz. It seems to be mostly what is used for love, if you will. It's mostly for love of oneself as well as others. It's universal love, if you will.
Chaya wants to know, is this where pet rocks come from?
No, actually, Chaya, listen, when a mommy rock and a daddy rock come together and they hug really, really tightly, the baby rocks come out.
Baby rocks come out, yeah.
When you're older, I'll tell you more.
Mike said, Ash, you didn't heed my warning about the autistic crystals. I tried.
All right, listen, if my chakra is blocked, can I just use some spiritual drain cleaner, or do I need a fancy guru to unblock it with a magic wand?
You technically all you need is yourself. I mean, you don't need any crystals to do that. You can do it yourself. All you need
does
to
that
do is
require
figure out.
lotion and Kleenex?
Well, all you need to do is figure out what is wrong that you consider about yourself, or what about yourself
Have you met
feel
me? There's
is
all kinds of things wrong with me. No fucking spicy rocks is going to fix this.
well. I mean, start with that. I mean, you go with the all kinds of wrong. I mean, start with that. I mean, but honestly, the crystals are just kind of like a hack, a cheat, if you will. I mean, that's all it is. It really resides on you. I mean, it resides on in each individual for that energy process.
Okay, last condescending question is, why don't crystals come with a user manual or a warranty if they're supposed to fix my life? What if I get a defective amethyst? What then, Ash? What do I do if my amethyst is defective?
Well, what you do, I would say, is that very similar to what we deal with herbs and things of that nature. We're not given a background on any of the herbs that we are in our yards and things of that nature. So we just kind of have to go about it by experience, working with it, figuring it out, and just kind of working with it from there, and just working as we go until we get to it.
All right. But yeah. Lastly, and most importantly, Ash, I just want you to know I love you, and this was a bit, and you're a good sport. Goodbye, chat.
So what happens when people have privileges in your street yard? Oh, yes. Gosh.
But yes, as far as it's not the crystals themselves. It's they're cheat sheets. There was a guy I listened to who channels the being known as Bashar, and he says that crystals are essentially just cheat sheets for you to allow you to have access to things that you would have had access to prior to this existence, but instead you have to have access points to allow you that cheat sheet to allow you to be able to do it. And
just like God gave you the sun and the trees and the air and the rocks and the food and the animals, He has given us all the tools that we need here on earth to help guide us, to help heal us. We're not taking away from God's prayer. You can actually use them to help you pray. And again, just like Ash was saying prior, God gave you oregano. Oregano, I have it in my medicine cabinet. It's a great herb to help you heal. It doesn't mean I'm going to worship the oregano or idolize the oregano. It's a tool in my toolbox to help you to do these things. You know what I mean? And I always have little, believe it or not, little crystals. There, that one. I get the little heart one that I'm always constantly holding in my hand when I'm on my lives and stuff like that.
It's just a tool. It's just a tool.
Da said, this explains why I'm drawn to certain rocks and crystals.
Yep. It's probably because you are vibing with that crystal because you are needing that crystal for whatever purpose that may be. And like the one, like for instance, the Mookite. This one called to me, and I didn't even know at the time what it was for. And come to find out, it was for immune system, which I struggle with, and it was also for lower back issues, which I was having issues with pretty much the day prior and that day. So it was kind of like vibing with me, saying, "Hey, you could use me. Hey." That's basically what it's doing. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. Hey. Yeah, basically what's going on.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate all your knowledge, all your information. Mr. Scott has a Rumble rant for $1 that says, I've been trying to reach you about your rocks extended warranty. Oh, you're hilarious, Scott. Chaya, I always, she told me how to pronounce it. I think it's like Chaya or something like that. She said, does your birthstone, we did talk about this earlier in the stream before you left, my dear, or after you left, but does your birthstone have anything to do with your personality or temperament?
It's more so your personality and temperament gets collected through the energies as you pass through the cosmos when you come into a soul body. That's really more so what it is. And the stones are just kind of like a representation of that vibration, of that frequency. That's the best way I can explain it. You're more connected to those stones because of the time period that you were born in that month or whatever. That's the reason why it is the way it is, for the vibration, for those stones helping you in your everyday life. It's more about the cosmos. Honestly, it's more about the astrology, if you will, I guess you could say, of the concept of it. This goes back to the law of one. The law of one information talks about how when you're born, you pass through the cosmos. And as you pass through the cosmos during a certain time frame, when you're born, that's when you collect that energy, and which can affect your personality. It can affect who you are, what makes you you, and things of that nature. And it'll also give you catalysts throughout your life, because sometimes you have to battle those things that are you in your life, because maybe a little bit too much of you, if you will.
Yeah. Da said, I wish they would make up their mind on what my birthstone is. So I asked her, Da, if you're still listening, what is your birth month? Because I didn't know either, but there are 2 birthstones for each month. And I didn't know that. And then if you go by like Gemini, those, you actually have a few different crystals that are actually good for you. So, she said pearl or alexandrite. So June. She's June.
Oh, she's June?
Mm-hmm.
Here. Well, it depends on what part of June. Is she a Gemini or Cancer?
Oh, that's a great question. Great question. But again, like you said, well, she is going to answer that because I know there is a delay. She's a Gemini all the way.
I'm assuming
she's
Cancer?
A Gemini.
Oh,
nope, Gemini.
Okay, so Gemini would be citrine, tiger's eye, Chrysocolla, pearl, and aphrodite. Or Pophrolite, sorry, Pophrolite.
Pophrolite.
And then
Chaya, my friend. I do want to definitely give you a little shout out for being brave enough to maybe come back in and listen a little bit deeper and maybe ask some more questions. Sometimes when you come into something new that you don't know, it can be a scary situation, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like Ash and I are saying, this isn't something that you idolize. This isn't something that you worship. This is
you don't worship.
This is something.
You don't worship this.
Yeah, this is something that was put here for us from God to use in our everyday lives to help us. Just like we're supposed to go out and touch the grass, walk in the grass, hug a tree. Exactly, Cass. It doesn't mean we worship it. It's something that helps us, further, those frequencies, those vibrations, things to maybe help us even come closer to God. Maybe somebody, is feeling some sort of way and they pray to God and God says, hey, here's a crystal, hold this and see how you feel. You know what I mean? And you never know. Maybe that crystal, maybe that person didn't even know God prior. And somebody was like, here, like come across Ash, and Ash is like, here, try this stone. You know what I mean? And they hold it and they think, oh, this is kind of amazing. Why is this here? Maybe that rock could bring somebody even closer to God. You know what I mean?
It did for me.
Yeah.
It did for me. The obsidian brought me way closer to God. So, like, here's an example. So, for the Gemini, going back to that, I would suggest Pearl. That's my suggestion, because Pearl crosses over on Gemini, and it also crosses over on June for the birthstone. That's my suggestion.
Can you read what Pearl is in your book to maybe
I don't
give
know
her?
if it may not be in here. I don't know if it will be or not, because that's from an animal technically.
Oh yeah, because it's from an oyster.
It may not be in here. I'll look and see if it's in here, but I don't think it will. Let me see. So
while Ash is looking that up, I'm going to give myself a little shout out here because we're at the second quarter past of the hour. Thanks for tuning in to Mom's Mystery and Mayhem. I do have 2 watching on YouTube, so I want to give you guys a shout out and say hello. Make sure to like and follow and subscribe over there. I will let you know that Rumble is my home channel. We have a great chat over here. Wonderful scenario, wonderful friends, wonderful family. I welcome in all peoples of all different backgrounds. Whether you love the topic or hate the topic, go ahead, throw your opinions, your questions in there. I appreciate all of you guys. And if you guys have any questions again for Ash before we start to wrap up this I almost said stone, before we wrap up this show, make sure to throw them into the chat, put a Q in the front, and I will throw them up for Ash to read into and look into.
I did find the Pearl in here. All right, so Pearl, let's see here. Physical emotional uses. Pearl's energy helps to improve hormone balance and bring the feminine cycle in line with the moon, making it helpful for fertility purposes. Harmonizes the emotions and eases mood swings. Balances water within the body, easing fluid retention. Brings emotional peace and spiritual tranquility. So, yeah,
interesting.
That's what it's for.
Now, I do have a question. I always knew I was a ruby, but you gave me a second one. And if you could just explain, so that's Cancer or July. Because I didn't heed my own warning and bring my pencil out for that one because I was reading the chat as well. So what is the second one? Yeah, what is cornelian? Yeah.
Yeah, I can show that to you. One moment. I gotta dig for it here for a moment. Give me a moment.
That's fine. Take your time.
I love how whenever you try to find something, you can never find it. Well, let me see here. Actually, this one's carnelian. This is an unpolished carnelian.
Okay. K-Star has entered in the chat.
It's usually more red and white in color. Let me see if I can find one that's polished. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
K-Star says we do it live. We do it live. I actually here we go. If anyone's offended by bad words, I don't apologize in advance.
Well, do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
All right. So carnelian, when it's polished, it's really smooth and kind of a reddish orange color.
That's pretty.
Yep. But yeah, that's carnelian. Yeah, I have a bunch of carnelians for sale too. So I got a lot of pretty much all these crystals we were talking about tonight for the most part. I've got them. So if anybody's interested, send me an email on it. If you're interested in finding out any more information on what might help you out, I'll I'll help you out if I can.
Let's see here. Let's see what she says. The Levites, the high priest of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, used a variety of rare precious stones embedded on a breastplate when they would pray and sing the holy songs of prayer.
Yep. I've actually toyed around with making one of those at one point in time. I was thinking about making one. But yeah, that was the purpose that I was going to use it for, was for blessing and prayer. Yeah. And meditation too. I kind of have something like that back there. I use that right there for meditation a lot and prayer.
She says that I'm sorry if I butchered these names. I apologize. The Kohanim would wear special stones when performing the holy temple service. So yeah, so a lot of, if you look at your history, a lot of them, like you said, have the crowns, they have the staffs, and they all have the jewels and the stones, because it connected them to the earth, it grounded them, and they had the stones of the energy to help uplift and support them through their prayer.
And some stones are connected in spiritual realms of existence as well, more connected anyway, like amethyst, opalite. Yeah, those are all like really well connected stones to spirituality. Quartz too. Yeah, quartz big time. Quartz is in so many things. The Great Pyramid of Giza has lots of quartz in it. Lots of quartz.
Because it spoke to things. Hey, Jack, how are you, love? Everyone's popping in to say hello. I appreciate all of you guys. It's been a great evening. You even missed Sean's little pirate bit.
Yar, pirate.
Arg. Oh, God. All right. So we're getting close to 11:19. Is there anything you want to touch base on now to help people either bring them closer or clear up any misconceptions that they have about stones?
I guess we pretty much did it for the most part, other than again, going back into give thanks to the Creator. Give thanks to the Creator. Give thanks to them for the blessing of giving us these stones, giving us these things to use for the purposes of helping us out while we're here. These are access points that we can use if we so choose to use them. Now, again, some stones are going to work better for others, and some stones are going to work better for others. You got to find the stone that works best for you. Like some people just may not do well with carnelian because it might ignite that fire too much within them, and it may be too much of them, so to speak, if you will. Some might do better with, more mellower stone, more amethysty type of stone, or something like a howlite or a lepidolite to calm that mood a bit.
You'll have to get yourself a stone journal.
Yep. Yeah, it's your own journey. Yep.
Own journey. Like I said earlier, we all have our own frequencies. I have mine, Ash has his, my kids, even though I gave birth to them, we all have our own. So like I said, keep a journal. Only wear one stone at a time when you do the research to see how it makes you feel. Wear it for a couple of days. Change up your article of clothing. Even try it on different parts. Wear it around your neck. Maybe you found some earrings that might work. Depending on what you're wearing, could it work in your pocket? Possibly. It depends on what you're wearing. It may or may not work. The only way you're going to know is to keep that journal and that record of, and as silly as it sounds, like I said, pay attention to what your water take was in that day. Are you a little more dehydrated? What clothing were you wearing? Who were you around? How did you feel when you wake up? These are all different things. Even maybe what cycle is the moon at? You know what I mean? Or if you're a female, what cycle are you in?
Especially if you're female and the moon cycles.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Those 28 days, there's a reason 28 days are the cycles. You know what I mean? Cass, brain work. I just froze for a minute. Find one, and then I do need you to set it up because I don't have Rumble open on my computer because my computer is absolutely ridiculous and it won't let me open up another tab without it freezing. So just find one, and then when I'm ready, I will definitely shout you out and let you know. K-Star, let me scroll back up, says, when K's son was a new baby and our frequency was still so very close, we had the hiccups, and I don't mean we both had them. We would pop off at the same time every time. It was wild.
Mm-hmm. Frequency, yep. Matching frequencies.
Yeah.
Yep, that's a thing.
Mikey says, I was talking to Pirate Sean and Mercury was in retrograde. It was not good. I love my chat. I have like the best chat. They're engaging. They are fun. They make hard situations lightning. They ask a bunch of great questions. I absolutely love you guys. So again, Cass has got that raid. I don't know where are we going. But we're going to bring it up that time. Last time here, we got, look at that, 222. It was 22222. All those twos were listed there.
All those twos.
Numbers are a huge part of my life. I see them everywhere consistently, even when I'm not looking for them. They're there. They're just there. I see them. I know them.
That's the higher self, or selves, I should say, trying to communicate information to you, or guardians, if you will, trying to communicate information to you that is in a number representation.
Yep. All the time. Numbers I feel is how my people around me, that's what they notice. I notice those, and I notice scents and smells, but numbers are definitely my go-to thing that I pick up on and I see. It's crazy.
Before I started getting into this.
Hold on, Cass, don't go yet.
Oh.
Go ahead, Ash.
Before I started getting into this stuff that I do now, I was seeing 33 on a regular basis, like consistently, like all the time. It was getting to the point where I was seeing it so much that I was telling people, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, I don't understand. I was like, I don't understand why it's blaring at me like consistently. And come to find out, it was just trying to tell me that I needed to work towards my mastery of what I was put here to do.
Yeah, 222 is a big number that I see because I'm always asking for guidance if I'm going in the right direction. And 222, your angel number, it means you're going in the right direction. You're seeing what you're supposed to be seeing. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
I get that one.
I know, love. Look, this is why I love doing what we do, Ash. She was very nervous in the beginning, remember, with her questions and her comments. She actually left for a little while, but something brought her back in. And now she's loving it and she wants more.
I'm so glad.
This is why
I did not mean to seem like I was attacking Christianity. I'm not. I'm really not. I just don't understand certain aspects of why Christians do certain things in remembering that. I just don't understand that. I personally don't like to remember my figure, the master that I revolve my beliefs and teachings at, depicted upon a cross. I just don't like to view it that way. I like to view it as an empty cross, if anything, because
and that he's with you here.
He's risen. Yeah,
he is risen. Yep.
Yeah. So I just don't understand that aspect of it. That's all I'm saying. Now, again, I'm not down in Christianity. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying I just don't understand that aspect of it.
Yeah. And that's okay. All right, boys and girls, we are at that time. Ash, again, let the boys and girls know where they can find you. If you want to shout out the book one more time that you read from, because that had a lot of great information. And again, give your link, your email for the jewelry and the stones that you have, and what they can do with that.
Yep. Got this. This is the book I was kind of reading from tonight, which is Crystals. This is Jenny Harding. Her name is spelled Jennie, and Harding is Harding. So, great book. Check it out. I think that it would help you to understand a little bit further what all these crystals can do, and kind of give you an association with what all they, just everything in general that these things can do. I mean, it's not just, metaphysical properties and things of that nature. It's actually like an informative book telling you what it's made out of, what its hardnesses are, all of those types of things. It's all in that book. So, but yeah, check that book out. You can find me on Rumble. That's pretty much the only place you're going to be able to find me, on Rumble. I mean, I do have a Gab account, but it's not for Wondercast or anything like that. But on Rumble, it's Wondercast or Lightside Radio. That's another way you can find me. Or if you just look up my name, 123 Mad Ash, that's another way you can find me. But yeah. And I have Lightside Radio on at 3:00 p.m. on Tuesdays, and I crash into K-Star's broadcast that she has for her movie night. So we have music and movies on Tuesday. So if you don't have anything going on Tuesdays, there you go. And then on Saturdays, that's my Wondercast, 8 p.m. Central Time. And you'll find me there with all the weird and all the historical documentation and the spiritual information when it comes to the Law of One information at the beginning. But yeah, I always start my show off on Wondercast with Law of One information. So you get that spiritual information at the beginning, which is from Ra, the sixth density angelic being that is giving the information. And then you also have my main part of the show, which is, I always broadcast for. And then the end of the night is the hangout session. So you're looking at about 4 to 5 hours worth of material, technically, by all senses and purposes. And then the rest of it is just, hanging out, watching weird stuff and just kind of conversing and just chilling. But yeah, that's
all
it.
The fun stuff.
All the fun.
All the fun.
Yep.
So again, I am Gina. I am Mom's Mystery and Mayhem. We kind of bring it all, as you can see. We do all sorts of fun stuff. I mean, last week I talked about Mothman. This week we're talking about crystals. I am 100% sure. I know. I'm thinking about doing the Kraken next week. I'm going back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a thing.
Like I said, I'm trying to go through that amazing intro that I have and pick stuff and start to go through it. Because I think it'll be nice to to tie everything in. So again, every Sunday evening, you can find me here, 9 p.m. Eastern Central Time. I usually do, Gina one week, and then I'll have a guest on the following week to kind of either talk on something that they enjoy, that they're kind of an expert in, or we can kind of collude to, see anything like that. If you guys have any suggestions that you would like for me to look into or talk about in one of the shows, go ahead and send me an email. And just look right here. It's shrty7081@yahoo.com. Send me an email. Make sure in the subject line you write in show topics, just so I know. And it's always a great time. I appreciate everybody coming in, everybody watching, everybody engaging, everybody chatting. If you go ahead and just make sure to click that like button, go ahead and share it with all your friends. Definitely word of mouth is one of my biggest things. I try not to shove my channel down people's throats, if that makes sense. My channel has pretty much grown, and this is what I think I'm only 2.5 months in on my channel, and I'm almost at 200 followers. And that's thanks to all of you guys sharing, word of mouth. I do post stuff on X, again, SHRTY7081. I usually only promote the shows that I'm going on to on that time. So again, here, Sunday evenings, you can find me Me and Ash are in the talks. I'm going to go on his show one night as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he will be back because we have some other things to talk about, like law of attraction and what draws you to certain people and what pushes you away from certain people. Because I know that's another
I would love
topic.
to come back on here and talk Law of One information, kind of give an overview of what the Law of One entails and all of that. Because
Yeah,
I'm going to say
absolutely.
right now, the Law of One connects all these points of interest of everywhere, and it connects it all. Whether it be aliens, whether it be religion, whether it be spirituality, whether it be just science, whether it be any of it, it all brings it all together, all into one aspect.
Kaya said that I thank you, Ash. I really enjoyed the stream and when I decided to come back, and we loved having you here with your questions. It was great. So again, you know where to find me Sunday evenings, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday evening. The gay pirate that popped in at Third Railify, that's where you can find me. So make sure you go over to at Third Railify. You can find me there again Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays. We have news and hangout. We generally start the show alone and slowly all our friends start to trickle in. It definitely goes off the rails. Some nights we don't even get to weird stories and news. It is just hangout. We engage with the chat. The chat kind of leads us, and it literally can go for hours. I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's our longest one. It just happens. And then Wednesday, Sean and I do touch base, and it is definitely more chat based, more fun, more friendly. That's on Wednesdays. That's our show, About Nothing. And it's just a lot of fun. So again, I love you guys. Go ahead, Cass, and start that rate. You're gonna have to. Tuesday, I don't know what we're doing Tuesday, but pop in. If you like the topic, say something in the chat and we'll send the link off. We used to throw the link out there into the chat, but we're not going to do that anymore. We've learned something. So we will send you the link if you ask for it that way. So that's how it's going to go. Go ahead, Cass, set that raid. I don't see it just yet. Oh, as you're doing that, Fontes, thank you so much for the gifted prescription. I can't even speak anymore tonight. For that subscription, I totally appreciate you. Love you guys. Have fun over on Darth. Tell them we send our love, our light, and our peace and our energy. And I'll catch you guys all Sunday evening. Thanks, guys.
Love y'all.
Stop the boat!
We're there.
Where?
Here. A small step for mankind, but a giant step for us.